Hi, Orange Girl here with another scrapbooking process video to share with you. Today I am working with Clique Kits and I am working with the Wonderful You March 2019 main kit. I already had an idea kind of in my mind that I wanted to use this rainbow striped paper. Some of the other design team members have already used this one too. This is by Webster's Pages, but I wanted to use it in a traveler's notebook style. So what I'm doing is I am cutting this paper 8.25 by 8.5, and because my pages are 8.25 by 4.25, when I put them in the traveler's notebook that I use with two rings. And so I went ahead and I cut that cloud paper that way, and then I made a little cut that you might have seen me do, so it kind of shows where the halfway mark is, so that as I'm working I can kind of see where it's going to get cut in half. So my idea was that I would just use this rainbow paper to go across the two pages and then have the cloud paper behind it. And then I was going to use these lovely, I just really love these alphas, to say you are my sunshine. So that's kind of that's really all I had an idea for at this point. So everything else kind of happens in real time. In fact, I even end up changing my photo. So you can see I had printed a few photos. There's a couple other ones in the picture there, and I'm going to end up actually using one of the other photos. So I decided that I was going to do some stitching. So I'm going through my embroidery floss, and I'm going to pick out kind of those same colors, or really close anyway, and then go ahead and take my piercing tool by Amy Tangerine, and I'm going to just make holes all along the outside. Actually, I'm just kind of all around the outside of the pink, all around the outside of the kind of orange color, and so on. And then I'm going to go ahead and just stitch, and I'm just doing a simple back stitch. So I come up and then go back down, and then I'm going to go up one ahead and then go back down in the one that I went down the time before, and so on. I think I do it a little bit more in a minute here. So I'm popping this up, and the reason I used some foam adhesive on the back of this to pop it up was because with all of the layers of stitching there, you could kind of, it already sort of stood up, and it was going to be hard to glue it down if I didn't kind of pop it up a little bit. So then I just sliced it in the middle, and then last here to get ready to actually work on the layout is I needed to make the holes where they're going to go so that I don't put anything in the way of the holes. So I always try to do that first, but I don't always remember, and sometimes I have regretted that. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some tissue paper behind my photo. I don't want too much going on behind the photo. I've already got a lot happening with this big print, and then all the stitching and all of that, and I'm going to have a big title. And so I know I'm not going to need a lot of embellishments, and as you can see, I'm just kind of moving around all these letters. I can't really decide how I want my title. I end up doing something completely different here, so that is why I sped this up so much, but you can kind of see my process by me showing you that. So at one point I decided that I was going to use that same paper, but the same cloud paper, but the other side is yellow, and I was going to make a sun to put up in the corner, and then I end up not, and maybe even some flare, but I ended up not really liking it. So I take that off, and I just was having a hard time because I was feeling like it was unbalanced. And so that's why I kind of wanted something up there. I'm not real good with white space. And so that's probably one of my faults. I don't know if it's a fault, but it's definitely not a strength. And so if there's space, I'm going to fill it. And so that area just felt like it needed something. So then I turn my title this way, and I decided that I like that a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my title, get rid of the sun, and then I decided to go ahead and do some more stitching around 3 of the clouds. And so I went ahead and poked holes, and now I'm just doing a simple back stitch. You I come up through the back and then go back down through the hole that you just came up through the last time. I don't know how else to explain it. Maybe I can do a tutorial sometime if somebody needs that. So, but I have 3 of those, just to add a little texture up there, a little something up in the corner. And then I remembered that there were these great like confetti pieces that were the same silver color, and so I decided they would be the perfect little accents across and around the page, and it would help it not look super plain. Like, it would just add a little something, but not add too much and make it look too busy. So I'm just going to glue those down, and then I'm almost finished. The last thing, I went back and forth with trying to decide if I wanted to actually add some journaling to this page or not. And I was thinking maybe I could do some journaling or journal strips or something like that in the cloud, the big cloud at the bottom. And then I decided if I journaled, it would take up too much of that space, and um, then the bottom might be too heavy. So I decided, since I had these great Pink Fresh, not Pink Fresh, Pretty Little Studio phrase stickers, that I would use those. But first I got to add a little bit of pink thread. I felt like that side of the page needed something that was more of a warm color down over there, and so I decided to put some of that behind my photo on either side, both sides of the photo, and call that done. That makes me feel a little better to have that color there. And then I'm going to add, I don't remember if I do it on camera. Yeah, I do. I'm going to add 3 phrases. One says free spirit, one says happy go lucky, and the other says sunshine and happiness. So I felt like there were a lot of them to choose from, and I kind of went back and forth between several of them, but I felt like those fit the idea of this, her being my sunshine. And then I kind of put them on there kind of wonky and not straight, so that they're a little crooked, which makes it seem like it's moving to me or something. So, and I really like how this one turned out. This was really fun and fast to make. I made it pretty quickly, because I kind of had a little bit of an idea of what I wanted to do beforehand, with the idea of the stitching and the rainbow and all of that. And when you're working with papers like this, and a kit especially, because everything matches, it's so much easier and everything comes together so much quicker, and I really like the way this turned out. So there is the final product, and then here comes some close-ups. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and I will see you again soon.